live in the American Gardens building on West 81st Street on the 11th floor. My name is Casey Armstrong, and I'm 44 years old. I believe in taking care of myself, in a balanced diet, in a rigorous exercise routine. In the morning, if my face is a little bit puffy, I'll put on an ice pack while doing my stomach crunches. I can do 1,000 now. After I remove the ice pack, I use a deep pore cleanser lotion. And in the shower, I use a water-activated gel cleanser and then a honey almond butter scrub. And on the face, an exfoliating gel scrub. Then, I apply an herb mint facial routine. I always use an aftershave lotion with little or no alcohol because alcohol dries your face out and it makes you look older. Then moisturizer, then an anti-aging eye balm, followed by a final moisturizing protective lotion. There is an idea of a Casey Armstrong, some kind of abstraction, but there is no real me, only an entity, something illusionary. And though I can hide my cold gaze, and you can shake my hand and feel flesh gripping yours, and maybe you can even sense our lifestyles are probably comparable, I simply am not there.
You're listening to the world's most amazing people on 103.9 LI News Radio. Now, here's your host, Casey Armstrong.
I am Casey Armstrong. I was in the movie American Psycho, in case you don't know that. That was my monologue. The intro is kind of strange. But guys, with no further ado, I got my amazing co-host is here today. His name is Darian Snead, Coach Snead to you. And he is my co-host, and he's an intellectual and an amazing person. Coach Darian Snead. Snead, what's going on, brother?
So I'm amazing now. Wow, I feel great.
Hey, Coach, did you ever see the movie American Psycho?
I don't think I did, Casey.
Yeah, well, it was an '80s movie, and it was with the guy who was Batman, Christian Bale. Remember, you know who that is?
I do know who that is. Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. He was this guy who was like this yuppie, and he was very vain. And the whole thing was, I don't know if it's supposed to be a comedy, but it made me laugh the whole time. He's completely indifferent to everybody, and he's just all completely narcissistic. And at the end, I'm not going to give it away, but he just does a series of horrible, horrible things because he has no feeling towards other people. And for some reason, that was funny. Why is that funny to me, Snead? You're smarter than me. Tell me why that's funny.
To be honest, I have no earthly idea.
Well, they sent me to a bunch of shrinks, court ordered and others. And what I get is whenever somebody tells a joke and whatever they think is funny, like your friends, you hang out with your friends, Snead, and if somebody says a joke or something like that, there's something rooted in truth. There's something that they're either interested in or that they're uncomfortable with that makes them laugh. Laughter is real, or it's to cover up some kind of either insecurity or something that people don't want you to know. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, I think it makes perfectly good sense.
So that is program makes sense to you, right? So Snead, tell me what's been going on, man. I was talking to you this morning. But what's been going on with you the past couple of days? Anything interesting?
No, nothing, man. Just downtime of the year for me. Mm-hmm. Summertime, so I should be reading something. I try to read a book this time of year. I have not picked up one.
Have you read my book yet, Snead?
I have not.
I didn't either, actually. When do you go back to school? Because Snead is a teacher, and you're not coaching, so you don't got to do these summer workouts. So tell me.
I go back. Officially, the kids come in September, the first week of September. We go in the end of October, do no setting up, and get ready for the kids to come in.
Snead, what do you do when, say, teaching has changed? You have to have like this smart board now and all this stuff. You don't write on a chalkboard anymore, right?
No, most people don't know.
Okay, so what happens if that doesn't work and you're way that you're trying to get your ideas across to the kids through this smart board technologically, it doesn't work. How do you not get angry or in front of the kids? How does that? What happens when it doesn't work?
Well, I think for me, I anticipate it not working. So I get angry when it does work.
That's a great answer.
You know, it's the Murphy's Law thing. What can go wrong will. So you just got to be prepared for that. You're going to have technical difficulties and problems. You know, you'll build your whole lesson around the internet, YouTube, brain pops, and then your internet will go. So you got to, you know, when you're old, when you're gray hair, you anticipate that stuff. You get ready for it. You have a backup plan. Because, you know, some things you get used to happening.
And that right there is a mature and a hard-working way to think about something. And I asked them to turn this off, and I asked them to fix this, but they don't. But I'm not going to get mad because I should have thought of this beforehand, and I should have fixed it myself, I guess. Now, I guess I'm an engineer now, right, Snead?
Well, I guess your circumstance and situation is different because I'm assuming you pay some folks to do a job.
Yes, that's correct.
And so when that happens, it's entirely different now.
So I got a reason to get mad?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, absolutely. Now, you know, it depends on the extent of your mad and your anger. You know, you got to evaluate it. Was this something they could control? But at the end of the day, when you write a check, you got to provide results.
That's true. That's true. Hey, hold on, Steve. Somebody wants to talk to you. Let me try this again. Hold on. Caller, you're on the line with Coach Darian Snead. Do I got you?
Yeah, hey, what's up?
Oh, there we go. Snead, I got you?
Yes, I'm right.
Oh, wow. Oh, thank the Lord. Heavens to Betsy, it works. Caller, you're on with the one and only Coach Darian Snead. How can I help you? You're on the air.
Yeah, I heard you talking, like, all about that stuff, but you were, like, talking about with, you know, like, some things are, like, funny, and everybody, like, you know, you got to be, like a lighter heart about things, and you can't be, like, you know, like, people laugh a lot because maybe they're actually, like, you know, hurt inside and stuff, so, like, I was thinking, like, maybe, you know, like, I know they say, like, comedians and stuff are, like, you know, like, you know, like, really upset people, and so, like, I was wondering, like, I like what you said.
Hey, Coach, Stephen Hawkins is on the phone and wants to ask you a question.
Wait, who is on the phone, Stephen?
Snead, what do you think about what the gentleman just said?
You want me to tell the truth, Casey?
Yeah, I do.
I had no earthly idea what the hell he was talking about.
Me neither. Caller, be more specific. I don't know what you meant. Look, we're trying to understand what you're saying, and we'll give you your opportunity to speak here because everyone has that right to do that. But I'm not getting what you're saying, and I usually can understand.
Yeah, hold on. Let me get my friend on. He knows what he's talking about.
Okay, all right, we get the friend now, Snead.
Hey, what's going on? Hey, guys. All right. No, I like your show. You got a good show. What's happening?
Thank you.
And I appreciate it. And, you know, I caught just a piece of it. I was just kind of scrolling through the dial here, as they say, back in the old days. And I know you're Mr. Snead over there said heavens to Betsy, so that's a little bit of an old days type of reference, too. But you know what? What I caught was interesting because we're all constrained as comedians. And, you know, I'm a comedian for many years. And let me tell you, you have to pull some really good trick into getting the joke across. And the big thing in getting the joke across is they've got to know your heart. You can't just be a reckless joker and just go, like, you know, talk about bathroom humor and filth and dirt and you know, and kind of go reckless and saying, you know, how about those gender flip-flops, huh? You're like flipping like Legos
Coach.
these days. Wow.
Coach,
you can't do that.
Coach,
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you take this, and then I'll go ahead.
Casey, I really don't know. Now, I'm going to say this. You know, I think it's a matter of opinion. I don't think you have to know. Some people are just funny. Some people can capture a moment, a room, a circumstance, and make joke out of it, where nobody else can. I don't think I'm that person, but some people can do that. I think we have to remind ourselves that a joke is just that. It's a joke.
And are you under the thought that if it's funny, it doesn't matter what it's about. If it's funny, it makes you laugh, then that's the end-all, be-all?
I'm not under that impression. You know, I would like to think it's some lines you really just need to stay away from.
What do you let me get back to the caller. I was going to say this isn't a marijuana show that we talk about marijuana, because you were kind of talking a little bit in circles. I appreciate your interest in the show and that you called in. That was really nice. But I don't get what you were getting at. You and the other gentleman. I'm not quite sure. Can you maybe make it a little more concrete, maybe?
Wait, did I catch a part of the show where you were talking about, the joke and the, funny and all that stuff?
I was just telling Snead that if something is funny, I don't think it matters what it's about. If it makes you laugh, then it's funny. And Snead tells me he doesn't believe it. I'm about to get into that, but maybe you got a thought on it, because what do you say you were saying?
Oh, it's funny, because comedy itself is everyday, relatable, office safe, family safe, funny. And then there's comedy, that's intended to be commentary, social commentary, cultural commentary, and sometimes political commentary. And we don't want to get into that too much, and we try and stay away from that.
Well, hold on. What are your politics? You support the president?
Absolutely.
You do?
Yeah, and the reasoning behind that, it's not about that I support the president, so much. It's just that if you take a snapshot at 2019 and the culture and the times that we're in and the loosey-goosey subcultures that are inside of it trying to justify their behaviors, what we're trying to get back to is a framework and structure with integrity without any sneaky stuff going on, which has gone on in many years under the radar, Clinton and all that.
All right, I got what you say. Hold on, and I got two things to say. First of all, you got to speak more directly into your phone. And Snead, why don't you respond to what he says about how he supports the president?
I don't know this gentleman. I don't know anything about him. But I do know under no circumstances can you use the word integrity when you're talking about our president.
I figured you'd say that, Snead. Go on.
Yeah, under no circumstances. And this has nothing to do with liking him or disliking him, his politics. It is proven, it is documented that this man has not operated, pre the presidency, right now in the presidency, and I'm sure post the presidency. Donald Trump knows nothing about integrity.
Caller?
Okay?
Caller, do you agree with that?
Well, hey, look, you know what? The reason why I've traveled this country, and I talked to a lot of people, and this gentleman, Mr. Snead, on the phone, and again, this is just clinical dialogue, and I've experienced many, many people, many people everywhere, all over the country for over 27 years, talking to people, the pulse of the people, and I know that back in 2015-14, in comparison to what we've had, this is the first time that the country is excited. The country, not just people here and there, but the country. And there's going to be people who aren't excited about it. There's definitely a renewed spirit, and Mr. Snead is absolutely entitled to his opinion, and I can totally appreciate it. What happens on the right or the left, I really don't care. I just want somebody to do what's right. And what's going on right now is right because we're winning and we're doing decent stuff around the world, and our international politics and our economy is at an all-time high. And if someone's going to step out and go, oh, yeah, well, you don't know anything because you're a comedian, you don't work. That's I work 2 jobs. I've worked in the...
All right, nobody's saying that. Let's concentrate on what you just said, that opinion. Snead, I know there's probably steam coming out of your ears. Go ahead.
The economy is not at an all-time high, and there's some areas of the economy that are doing great, okay? You have to understand that the president has done a lot of borrowing and that the deficit is at an all-time high. That can't be argued. His deficit is higher than Obama's, is higher than both the Bushes, is higher than Clinton. And so when you create that, or when you create that circulation of money through the borrowing, and I'm not an economics, but I know spending. So when you go to the bank, Casey, and you borrow a bunch of money and you have it in your household is doing much better because that money's there. Mm-hmm. Can you understand that?
Yep, of course.
But eventually you got to do what?
You got to pay it back.
Thank you.
But to the caller's defense here, the caller is saying that it's a temporary thing. But it's been going on since, as you just said, since past 4 presidents. It's the same thing.
No, it hasn't, because each year Barack Obama decreased his deficit. Each year, he was the only president that can say he's done it in over 20 years, all 4 years. And I believe in spending. You got to spend and move the envelope. And so it's going to create a problem. The question is when. It's going to create a problem, Case. There's no way around it. I might die before it happens, but it's going to happen.
Right. Caller, do you believe what Coach Snead had just said?
So, Mr. Snead, you're saying that what Obama had in terms of deficit, it was just it's in the growth like it's supposed to be. Like it grew from Bush, it grew from Clinton, it was even bigger, and now it's even bigger than ever. And you think that Mr. Obama was very good for the economy? Is that what you're stating?
The data says he was very, very good for the economy. The data says that
the economy or the economy?
The economy says his last 3 years his unemployment went down. It went down substantial. Okay, our borrowing as a country went down. And so when you don't have money in circulation, you're going to cause yourself some problems. But we all know you got to pay your bills. We all know. We don't want to be a country that doesn't do that. And we had 3 years in a row where we decreased our deficit, which is important. And that's all the Republicans claim. That's all they stump their foot about until when? Until this president started spending. That was the ticket of the Republicans prior to Trump.
Okay.
Caller, go ahead, respond.
Well, I don't know what line of work you come from, Mr. Snead, but I'll tell you right now, and I know they call you Coach Snead or whatever. I'm just from this phone call. I don't know what kind of line of work you come from, and I'm not even a political guy, to tell you the truth. I'm not. I can care less about politics. Bill Clinton seemed like a nice guy. Obama, I even liked him too. I really did. Just looking at it clinically, okay? Like I said, my other line of work is architectural design, project management.
Okay, we don't care, caller. Just tell us.
No. There's a reason for that. Okay, the reason why I ask every question and everything I say has bearing on something. Okay, the reason why I asked Mr. Snead what his line of work was because I wanted to know if he was employed in 2008, 2009. Now that was towards the end of Mr. Obama's presidency there, and I'll tell you right now, I'm a guy who hustles. I work hard. I work a lot of hours in New York City, and we were all let go because that economy crashed because of Mr. Obama, all right, in his time. As a father of four, as a man who likes to work, I try to get jobs out there. You know who had the jobs? I'll tell you who had the jobs. All the Latinos had the jobs, the Spanish people. I was looking for jobs. I wanted to swing a hammer and work for contractors. I couldn't because it was 72 of them at a bus stop that were jumping on pickup trucks. I wanted to use my hands to work, okay? I couldn't do that. I look around me. I am now happily working 2 jobs, and there's money coming in all over the place.
All right, let me stop you for 1 second here because that's a point that I want Snead to respond to. But what about that? Is what he's saying, is that accurate?
No, it's completely accurate. The guy, he's almost stupid.
The economy crashed.
Hold on. No, I listen to you, homeboy who worked all these jobs and the Latinos took your work. I listen to you. Now you listen. It most certainly did crash. He's right. And it crashed in relationship to the housing market, and that was put in place. That was put in place by who? And I'm not defending him because I don't think this classy brother needs defense. It was put in place to the president prior to him, which was a Bush. Okay? And so you're absolutely correct that happened. There's no proof. Economics will tell you, economists will tell you that it wasn't the legislation of the president. Let me give you more over. He put in a jobs plan. He recommended a jobs plan, okay? There was not one person who looked at that jobs plan that said it wasn't great. Not a white person, not a black person, not a Republican, not a Democrat. But you know why the Republicans didn't sign off on it? And they said it. Do you know why they didn't? Because it came from him. I worked in a building. I worked in a building. I worked in a history department where I was the only African American. It was 11 teachers. And it was one Democrat and all Republicans. And none of them, all of them said it was great. It was great for people who lived in rural areas. It was great for teachers. It was great for the middle class. All of those teachers fit into all those categories, but they couldn't approve it because it came from a Republican. So there are some things that this gentleman said that were true, but you got to know the root of it. Now, I have yet to find one European person or white person that legitimately can explain to me a Latino, a Hispanic, a Mexican taking a job they really wanted. I don't want to jump on the back of no truck. So this is what I do know about this country. And see, you get a lot of double talk from Republicans, and they happen to be white Republicans. Okay? This is the land where all this great can happen for you. But when they have to work, their butt off, when they have to find a way to make it happen, they can't do it. Somebody took my job. America's the land of the free. America's the land with the paved roads. Anything can happen for you in America.